most of everybody now has left his villages to come to Abuja in the name of seeking for a greener pasture, and it has made everything now to be, scatter. Cost of food, cost of living, house rentage, and the rest. Everywhere in Abuja today now, you cannot see any village. Everywhere now has been turned to estate, that's it. And a lot of people that cannot even have the money to afford in the payment of the estate. So it has actually affected some of us that are in the city.
Urban migration has really impacted us negatively because the people that are saddled with the responsibility of providing social amenity at the grassroots are not doing that. As such, you see a lot of rural-urban migration, and that has an impact on terms of security challenges we are facing right now. Because if people are adequately employed at the grassroots, I have no business coming to Abuja to look for a job for crying around. If everything is okay, I'm having my daily bread, I don't need to come to Abuja to make it in life. But because at the grassroots, the local government has been neglected so badly that right now we only have two tiers of government, the state and the federal government. You can see that is impacting seriously on our urban, and the amenities at the urban is not commensurate with the inflows of people coming to the urban.
Tenancy agreements, the agreements that your landlord gives you, right? Okay. Before I sign anything, even if it's not tenancy agreement, I do go through it and read it to see if I'm signing my death sentence. So I do go through it before signing it.
You definitely have to read before you actually sign. It's because there are some landlords that really want to put some certain things into it that maybe I should just look at it as hidden agreements. You understand? That if you don't read it, you won't know it. You understand? So you have to read so that you know the implication of what you are bargaining for. In case you enter the house, and if there's a kind of situation that will emanate either between you and the landlord, then you have to, as in, really shout out. I think that's fair. It's okay to read it before signing any agreement with a landlord.
Frankly speaking, majority of the people don't go through the agreement before they sign. Sometimes it may be because of their desperate looking for a house, and sometimes it may be as a result of not well acquainted with the terms used in the agreement, because it takes a legally minded person to understand the terms of the tenancy agreement. And because of that, some landlords normally hide behind the legal terms to conceal some of the basic things they need to let the tenant know about the agreement before they sign.
I do go through it. Sometimes when you collect something like that, you have to go through it and know what is really inside the tenancy agreement for you to know the laws that the landlord is placing on the house that you want to rent.
Anything agreement, whether tenancy or whatever agreement, you are ought to go through it. Why? Because agreement is a covenant, and if you don't get it right, it affects you. You definitely guys go through any agreement before you agree.
I don't normally go through it, but sometimes you see that they will pack many pages. The write-up will be much. I'll just go the necessary ones and leave the rest. An issue we have last week, the landlord just brought a quick notice of 3 weeks, which my money is supposed to finish around September, and they are giving me quick notice because of we complained that we don't have water in that house. So I have to draw attention of my lawyer to call attention on a lawyer to intervene on the issue pertaining the agreement. So when they started discussing about it, my lawyer asked me, "Did you go through the tenancy agreement?" I say no. So you see, that one is my own fault. So it's very good for everyone. If you are renting any house, any household shops, you're supposed to go through it. Make sure you have time for that. Even if you don't have time, you can take it to any lawyer to go through it. It's very, very important to go through that tenancy agreement before you pay for the rent.
Lateef Jakande was one of the bastion of progressive governor in Nigeria. He was one of those people that carried the banner of the ideals of late Obafemi Awolowo, and his life exemplified strict discipline and commitment to public good.
The late Jakande was the first civilian governor of Lagos State, and I happened to be the beneficiary of his free education. In fact, the first set of the education, that was 1979. So we were moved from a missionary school to start the Jakande school. We had a build and we got free books, free pencil, free education, everything free.
He's a good leader, though I didn't grow up to know him very well, but the foundation he has laid, if every other politician could follow his footsteps, everything will work well in this country. Because there are some things that I made that I have the opportunity to enjoy some of the foundations they laid, like this school of a thing and some other things like that.
Late Lateef Jakande, popularly known as Baba Kekere. As a small girl, though I stayed in Lagos, not by birth, he impacted much in my life. Stayed in Lagos for a long time. He gave me, when I was a girl in school, I was able to have some free education through him when he was the Lagos State Governor.
Well, the little I knew as for him is a good man, and he did many projects, especially issue of housing for the public servant. And so at that time, this was easy, and I want other government to lay on the legacy.
Yeah, let Jakande, the former governor of Lagos State. When he was a governor, I was really tender, but I heard much about him based on his performance as a governor then. In terms of infrastructure in Lagos State, because I could remember then that development of Lagos infrastructurally, he did marvelously well. School development and, let's say, building Lagos State economically, he did much.
He was an elderly statesman, a very gentleman, disciplined. He was never corrupt. And I don't think he was a greedy man, because after his tenure, I've not heard of him coming to vie for presidency, or for ministerial appointment, or for a senatorial seat like our current leaders. There are people of his age who are still in leadership today, but at least he did his own and bow out.
If there's one thing I can vividly remember about what he did in Lagos, I remember he built a lot of schools. He built so many schools, primary and secondary schools, and at a point people were saying he was building a poultry, that he was just building mere poultry. But you know what, it is those so-called poultry that other succeeding governments, government that came after him, that built upon it, and today Lagos State is standing on that legacy. His leadership was that of a commitment to whatever he promised.
I maintain a very cordial relationship with him. He's a very friendly and relative landlord. A lot of factors can make me leave, yes, because imagine having a landlord that does not maintain your compound and the facilities therein, and imagine having a landlord that checkmates your movements and limits your activities in the compound. You get, these factors will really make me pack out.
Well, we're good. We're good. Depending on the person's personality, in the sense that he doesn't collate with yours. And if you're having a hard time, basically, I can't really fix on like a particular problem because I've not been under that kind of circumstance before that I have issues with my landlord.
The relationship is perfect, it's okay. So we are managing each other. And the most important thing is that once you are a landlord, if your ends of living is all depending on the house that you build, maybe you don't have any other job that you are doing, all what you depend is your tenant to make payment, be it annually or monthly. So some landlord like that, if you have any apartment with such landlord, you must have one issue or the other.
I just speak to him through phone, just for verbal conversation. Then the other person who is more stationary is the caretaker, who is always around. There are so many reasons that will make one want to evict a house, especially when the things you were told are available before you moved into the apartment and you walk in and it's not there. Like they tell you water is okay, you have constant light, security, all that things. And when you come in, you see that you barely have light. And that is the essential thing everyone needs. Then water. So, water you can buy from the local vendors around, but light, you can't keep running generators. So, light, water, especially when you emphatically told them you needed those facilities and you were told that it's available, only for you to be disappointed that those items are not there. So, to make you want to leave the house.
If he asked me for rent before my rent due, I would decide to pack out. Yeah. But when my rent is due, I pay my rent.
If I'm a landlady, before a woman will stay in my house, I will ask questions. A woman just coming alone to say he stay. When I'm able to get a detail that is important, that is okay, I can give. But you have to ask and get the details of that woman.
Most of the, they say the rotten apples have affected the good ones. Some people, they feel like some women are in there for, when they rent house or when they rent your house or something like that, they only go for doing runs gears or this and that. But at least it's for the government to at least improve the women's sectors, create more jobs for them at least, or empower some women.
The landlords and schools are supposed to bring the prices of houses lower because of the fingers are not equal. When God created human beings, He made that some people will be high, some people will be low, and He did not disqualify anybody in His side. He made everybody to have equal right. So let them bring everything down, because we will not be looking for the government. This one. This is not issue of government. You don't think government to do. Let government give instruction.
In the building sector now, you don't usually see women doing the manual labor, except in some villages. I know I could give an instance of a village where you see the women doing the labor work, manual work, all those stuff. But in the city here, it's not rampant. Anyone happens to become a widow, which is too bad, I don't think there's any reason for such a person's property to be, the husband's property to be taken away from the person. I think family members should actually come to help that person. It is not, I don't support that at all. I do not support that.
In the construction sector, women are highly underrepresented. And I think it's majorly women are not interested most of the time, and because people are prejudiced and biased against using women in construction. But I believe that if women can go to construction and do a thorough job, they will do a better job than men. But right now, unfortunately, they are highly underrepresented. I'm really not familiar with what government is doing concerning widows and all that. But what I do to tell people as a preacher of the gospel, I tell widows, don't be a victim. My wife has access to everything I have. My wife is my next of kin. He has everything. There's no single human being anywhere in the world, dead or alive, that can take anything from my wife.
A woman's dream should end in the home. They are not expected to explore, to express themselves, irrespective of the exposure, educational exposure and everything, the knowledge, the idea they've acquired. They don't want them to to bring it out. So they believe a woman should be in the house. So they are not highly represented in the government. I don't think the government has really done much on that. It's only few individuals that and some non-governmental organizations that have tried to like take it up, fighting and helping them retrieve their things.
We need more policies in that regard that protect the interests of a widow or a man or woman. And also as a man, first of all, let's talk about government policies in regards to women who are in homes and protection for women who actually lost maybe their husbands, and they see family members comes to fight and over properties, land, things like that. I think also the government need to do more to have more laws in that regard.
Yeah, we have many there. Though many of them have this kind of fear that maybe they fall down, but the professional one. In fact, I have a daughter going for civil building something now, which I encourage. It's not my biological daughter, but I think being a woman, I have to help her.
They felt that women don't have the strength. We are just good in kitchen. The government have not done much because Nigeria feel that is a tradition. As soon as the woman lost her husband, yes, the family, they have right to come and take one or two things. No, it is not done that way. Nigeria women are really suffering. They are really suffering in times of in marriage. They are really suffering. So Nigeria government should do something for us.
Housing TV Africa, your first in housing.